All right, I'm at 1734. I don't know if I clicked at the same time, but I'm sure it's close enough, right?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, just to give the stream some, or the viewer some context, I just got home from work about 45 minutes ago, and I'm seeing Cassie Cage do a brutality, but it was like 4 hits, so.
Yeah.
But I rewinded, this is the second time I've seen it, so I'm not too...
His initial reaction, yeah, was the same as ours, where we're just like, what? What time are you at now?
I am at 1816.
Okay, we good.
All right, here we go. Oh, shit. Oh, God. We finally saw an explosion.
Yeah.
Oh, Ferris is fucking great.
Did you just get over with the trailer?
Yeah, I just finished the trailer.
Okay.
They have a lot of personality.
Yeah. Farrah's one later is really cool too. They show him.
Chat real quick with Brian. Yep. So brutalities are a little different than brutalities we've seen in the past.
Yeah, in the previous games there were just like was a button press, multiple button press. You had to learn this giant string. We wanted to make it much more accessible than that, and maybe kind of fit more with gameplay. Right. It will definitely not affect the gameplay at all, where it won't like cause extra damage or anything like that. You won't have to worry about it.
Now, a lot of them are based off maybe a special move.
Okay.
That'll happen, but there's other things that might have to happen before.
There will be conditions.
Right.
Definitely conditions. Like
This is what I'm curious about, is this part right here.
Right.
We totally talked over that's interest. I didn't.
We were on camera.
Oh.
So yeah, it's kind of like, it reminds me of back when like you used to really want to do some babality on something.
Right.
That second round when you weren't blocking, people would know it. There's a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, you get that feeling a lot. You'll see somebody trying to trying to throw you at the end of the round. You're like, I know what you're trying to do. It's kind of that old school arcade feeling. When you know somebody's not throwing fireballs, you know they're trying for that babality. Right. Brings me back to that with arcade days when I was like, wow, I know they're trying to do something not to like do it. And it has a lot of that kind of humiliation factor. You know, somebody just did that to you, especially in Smash tournaments.
And some of them have multiple things you have to accomplish.
Yeah, there's different levels of difficulty. Some will be harder, but majority of them will be not too challenging, but they'll be definitely challenging environments.
Right. Can you give us an estimate on how many brutalities are in the game?
There's over 100.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. So there's over 100 brutalities in the game. We're actually going to try to do a couple of them live here.
Yep.
Don't try to guess what we're doing here to make them happen, because we've changed some of the stuff so you won't be able to tell yet.
Yep.
So so you have to find it out later, maybe find a way to unlock them, do something. There's a lot of things you're going to learn later about how brutalities work, but right now we're just going to kind of maybe show you a couple.
Yeah, we're going to run through a few characters, different versions of brutality.
I'm still super curious, though, what the prerequisite is for brutality.
It changes. That's the thing.
Huh.
Okay. So they're not really talking about it, so I can talk for a little bit until they
I don't play this variation.
do another one here at the end. But how it works basically is it's kind of like a babality or friendship in the sense that there are qualifiers you have to meet to be able to do a brutality at the end of the fight. So you,
Okay.
but it depends on the character. It depends on the brutality you're doing. So it changes. It varies. It's not one static thing. So it's completely relative to what it is. But we'll keep watching this because they're about to do another one.
Matchup coming up today.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, they have it set to 1 round. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
Mine's not Tyler.
You know, it's a split down the middle fatality, but I don't even mind.
Yeah, it's so quick. Okay.
But, one of the most important things, and you mentioned it earlier, which I think we just kind of to rehash, that these brutalities don't do any extra damage over anyway. Like,
They're definitely not going to give the player an advantage if you're at the end of the match and they're like, oh, that's a brutality, get more damage out of it.
Okay, so they confirmed that it's not going to be a gameplay advantage. It is going to be a finisher.
Right. How it works is, from what I gathered, this is how they explain it, is if they're down to enough health to where that special move can finish them, if you hit that special move after you've met the requirements, then that special move will go instantly into a brutality. There's no, like, finish him or anything.
Huh.
So it kills them in a very quick method, but you have to meet the requirements for that specific brutality, which is secret. So it could just be simple, like, win the first round with a throw, and then by the second round, if you do that specific special, I don't know if you have to do a specific input, but when you go to that last special will kill them in a brutality fashion. So it ends the match with it. But we'll see another one here.
always a little bit of tongue-in-cheek comedy. Yeah. And that
Okay, I'm keeping my eye on the life bar.
Gonna need that head back.
I like the idea a lot because the problem I've always had with fatalities is they're sort of glorified YouTube videos.
Right.
Where the only reason to do a fatality is, I guess, as a taunt, but they lose their charm when they're just, a memorized input. If
Right.
that's all it is a memorized series of buttons.
Right.
Then it's like, okay, cool, there's nothing special. But you earn the brutality. So
Right.
when you do it, it means something. That is so much better than what I mean. It's still not. Yeah, go on.
And the idea behind it is you have to meet a requirement. So yeah, you earn it in that sense. And then when you win, if you win with that specific special,
Oh, I've heard this
All right,
one before.
yeah.
Yeah.
but if you win with that specific special, then yeah, it instantly goes into it. So it's quick. And also what I like about it is it's a static camera. It's not like really flashy. It's like classic fatalities, a static camera. It looks
It's really old school.
It looks
in a
very
good
yes.
way.
Yeah, it looks very old school. This one's good.
I like to push you.
Oh, this is gonna. Oh God.
That's your favorite, I bet.
That was okay because it's coming out of Kano, so it's not as bad. It's not coming out of her skin orifices.
But what gets me is there's over 100, so that means it's at least 3 per character that you're getting.
And it's going to be tournament hype too.
Yeah.
Fatalities, they were kind of tournament hype because they weren't allowed when they first had them in Evo in 2011.
Right.
So that was kind of hype. But God, if people pull this shit off in tournament, it is going to be so fucking wicked hype in the top 8s. God, on the Evo main stage, it's going to be crazy.
And I just love how classic it looks, because oh, shut up.
Okay.
But yeah, it's so classic feeling because they're so quick and simple to the point. And I like that because that's one complaint we've had about fatalities sometimes. Is
Yeah.
that sometimes they're drawn out just for the sake of gore, whereas these are like, okay, literally in a fight, I just happened to kill you with one of my shots. And that's like, it's not like a big scene out of it.
And that's what would happen in a real fight. I mean, that's been a criticism of fatality since MK1. In what fight is the person going to get dizzy enough and fatigued enough to just stand there and do nothing and still be standing on their 2 feet? It's kind of a dumb concept. It's been kind of a dumb concept. Oh, God.
So
You blew
awesome.
the life bar and I still didn't see it coming.
Yeah. It's awesome.
It is. It's got a realism to it that we've never seen with fatalities. Ever.
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite parts of the job is like
So yeah, tournament hype's gonna be huge. I still wish there was. I still wish it was an in-game mechanic
Yeah, no, I'm,
that
yeah, I
like
get
there
you.
was like a because I feel like you still have to disadvantage yourself to do it, but in a way that's good.
Yeah.
Because that means the the player who pulls off a brutality in competitive play is by far the better player.
Right, right.
And what's also cool is, unlike a brutality, if the conditions change for every character, you can't just look for something and be like, okay, he's doing this. I know he's going for brutality. He's going to humiliate me. Because if you know someone's trying to do brutality in your smoke, you can just telepunch all day till they finally block it. And that's at least a moral victory.
This is one of my favorites. I won't tell you who does it, but it's one of my favorites.
Huh.
Yeah, this one's a really cool one.
I love the run animation on Raiden.
Yeah.
He does like the Naruto run. It's fucking great.
I got busy doing work stuff, and I forgot that. Okay, now you
Well, I imagine Raiden's gonna. Fucking I had to kind of like reanalyze what I saw because I was just like,
You know what I think? I think we need to give it back.
oh man, that's even though Raiden has it, that is classic Shang Tsung right there.
Yeah.
That is MK2 Shang Tsung.
True.
But it makes way more sense for Raiden because
Yeah.
there's nothing in the lore that tells us that Shang Tsung can turn into like an ear spirit, blow your ass up. That is not canon. I love the Oh. That was a sick burn from Quan Chi.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah. Everybody's burning Raiden in this game.
super low. Oh gosh, the trance animation looks so much better. I didn't realize how much better it looked till now.
Yeah. It all looks so good.
Oh, there we go.
What's up?
Said it's all just looking really good, for sure.
Yeah, we haven't really seen a lot of Raiden now that I think about it. Not like, like active, competitive Raiden.
Right.
You played with Scorpion more than
I think it's interesting that his throw, he throws him through the portal and they come out and he does like a blast from that skull on his chest, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, we still don't know what that skull is, but yeah, it's weird.
Well, I forgot about the skull, so when he did it, I was thinking, that's a strange animation. I wonder why they designed it that way. I'm like, oh, fuck, right, there's a skull.
Yeah.
It does things, I forgot. Oh, why would you do that, Quan Chi? Gonna have to get like a bleach sponge to deal with that shit. Oh, God.
What's so awesome...
Cool, though. Yeah, and I just saw Raiden's head at the bottom, too.
Right. What's so awesome about these is that right now they look like demonstrations because they are demonstrating them, but in a real fight, this is going to play out in real time. You're going to be so intense, and as soon as you get that grab off, like that throw, it's just like, oh, you're going in the portal, you're done. There is no, like, finish him and then stalling point or anything like that. Like, that's just so beautiful that you're going to go from tense moment at the last minute panic to try and finish the match, and it just goes instantly in that.
It's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel so good because when you're playing someone you want to beat, like someone who you're having trouble beating, and you know they can take you down, and you know they have all the skills to do everything they need to do to take you out in a tournament match,
Right.
and you end the match like that, it's like, yeah, you hold that shit. It's right, I bathed in your blood. Fuck you. That's what I like about it, And also, probably my favorite thing about Brutality so far that make them already infinitely better than every Fatality I've ever seen since MK2
Yep.
is that they're quick. You
Yep.
don't have to delay the next fucking match.
Oh, yeah, there's...
Huge to me.
Yeah, this is like Scorpion's Toasty would be perfect for this, or Sub-Zero's Spine Rip and stuff like that. Like you said, MK2 Fatalities, they're back to like simple, which is really cool about the Brutalities.
Still in development. I mean, they're not on disc. They're still in development.
And this is the first time we've seen anything like an explosion. And oh man, it looks so much better. It looks so... Explosions haven't looked good for a really long time.
Right.
Like even in MK9, I thought they looked kind of bad.
Yeah.
Like MK2 might be the best explosions ever looked. Because in Deadly Alliance you had that popcorn effect.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
looked really gross.
Will you, Tyler?
Absolutely, you can still buy the combat pack.
So now I'm just interested in like Now I'm just like analyzing people's specials and being like, oh, that'd be really cool to see this happen from this special. Like, it's just fun to think about.
It's also a great way to bring back classic fatalities without taking up a fatality slot. If you
Right.
want to do the freeze and shatter, I don't know if that's in there, but if it is, you now have it. You have a way to do it.
Exactly, and we've been critical about like fatalities that are like overdone and drawn out way too much and just like disjointed. Well, now it's not a problem because now it makes sense for fatalities to be like that when you have brutalities as an ulterior option of like quick, to just killing them instantly, which is nice.
You'll notice I never do fatalities on you guys because I want to get to the next match,
Right.
but now I kind of want to do them for a different reason. Fatalities, that is.
Yeah.
Not just because they're quick, but because I want to make my opponent as salty as possible.
Yeah.
And if you guys are frustrated, I want to break your spirits.
That's the fun of it, though. That's the whole fun.
Yeah, I want to break your soul like a graham cracker, and I feel like I can really do it now.
That's why babalities are fun, is because you. I just think they're hilarious, but other
Yeah.
than that, people take them very like seriously, and they get offended that you're turning them into a baby, and that's funny to me.
It's amazing. That's God, yeah. I remember when fucking Kerbalicious was playing Rio in MLG in the top 8. It was Cabal versus Cage. Cabal should be able to just zone Cage out all day.
Right.
But not only did Kerbalicious's Cage beat Rio, he babied him. How the fuck does that even happen? That means he didn't have to block a single. I don't know. I think that's great. That's why I love abilities. So I just now the requirements are going to make a big difference, though. I hope the requirements aren't too dumb. I want these to be easy to do.
Right.
Easier than babalities. I think babalities. I don't know. I want these to be practical.
Right.
Babalities weren't really practical. If you're playing an opponent who knows what they're doing, you really shouldn't ever be able to do a babality.
Yeah, I don't like the whole no blocking thing. That kind of sucks.
Yeah. I mean, it does make him that much more hype, but we didn't see that many babalities because of it. Old Scorpion. What?
Yeah, I don't know.
There we go. That's a mirror match intro between Scorpion and
Huh, I wonder if that's like a timeline reference.
Yeah. Not sure.
That would make sense though. I could see like Armageddon and Scorpion being pissed that fucking new reboot Scorpion went all soft and shit.
Yeah.
They are now the undead. Whatever, Scorpion.
But yeah, it's really interesting to see what moves they choose because some have been throws, some of them been specials, and I think some have even been like normal attacks. So it's really interesting.
I imagine if they say there's over 100, something tells me they'll have at least one for every special. That's the feeling I get.
Not a lot of characters have like 9 specials though.
Don't want your loser germs on me.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, fair enough. And also some of them are. Oh, I've heard this before. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like throws are also brutalities apparently, so
Yeah.
that reduces the number of possibilities of special moves, I guess. But
Yeah, I think it's
that's
just yeah, I think it's really just up to which ones they thought they could think of something really cool to finish it off with from that move. Like Kung Lao's is a perfect example of a throw that just makes sense.
Well, what's cool about that is like sometimes like when I play Justin especially, he knows I'm going to do a tick throw.
Yeah.
So I do the jump and punch, he blocks it, and he immediately goes for a counter poke. Like you'll get blown up if you try to do that, and I actually go for a real chain combo.
Right.
So now there's that meta game. What am I going to do, Justin? Am I going for a tick throw to get the brutality, or am I baiting on a poke? I'm just going to try to finish the match.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? I went for a tick throw? Pay your respects, bitch. Love you, Justin.
See, I'm just. This is one of the best things brutalities could have been, for me. Like they're so simple that they can put so many in, so you can't really complain like, oh, I don't really like that brutality. It's like, well, who gives a shit? There's like probably 3 more for that character, or 2 more. So it's like there's just so many, and they're so simple. They're so classic feeling, like old MKs, like I said, with the static camera, and they're so fast and simple. I love how they finished the match. I would not have changed it to like an after the match, or like I said, the things we talked about, like the like half health and stuff like that was an interesting thing, but I really liked the way they turned this out. I'm glad they didn't do like after the match long combo thing type of thing, like old
Yeah.
Brutalities.
It hurts me to say it, dude, but to be honest with you, I agree. I really wanted it to be a gameplay mechanism, but this is so original. No one's done this before.
Right.
Like you could say you could compare it to Ultimates, but Ultimates,
Wave goodbye.
nice. Yeah, Ultimates, they didn't have match requirements. They just had to do a combo.
And they don't do win poses. Look at that. He's doing his MK2 win pose or his MK1 win pose. Like that's perfect. You know, it's not like his normal flashy win pose after, so it's like literally just cut his arms off and then hold my hand up in victory. Like that's awesome.
That is awesome. I always see a lot of classic win poses because some of them were really good.
Yep.
Although I feel like that win pose is uniquely Sub-Zero's because even though they both had an MK1, Scorpion did the double fist in MK2.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's fair.
I hated that they in fucking Deadly Alliance they got rid of the fist in the air.
Right.
Even MK4 had that. I'm like, God, that Sub-Zero's just gonna fucking do that now. I gotta turn my volume up. I only got part of that intro dialogue.
Yeah, you're like, I watched the stream.
So I haven't kept up with the Twitters. I haven't really even visited game sites because I wanted to have my reaction be
Right.
sincere.
Genuine.
But so it sounds like Cage is getting revealed along with a lot of the story tomorrow.
Oh yeah, no, there's gonna be a lot of characters revealed tomorrow. So it's this is what they said. They at the end of the stream they say a lot of people have been wondering when we're gonna reveal the next character. Well, what if we told you we're gonna reveal a lot of characters? Like, well, I don't know what their actual word verbiage was. It was like many characters or multiple characters or whatever. And they said it's gonna happen soon. Actually, it's gonna happen very soon. Very, very, very soon. And then I thought like it's probably gonna be tomorrow. Like
If we get like 3 or more, like I'll be blown away. I mean, I think that is what will happen.
we will for sure. Oh, I'm almost positive because Ed. After that, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be the story trailer we're all waiting for. And Ed pretty much confirmed it without confirming it. He posted on Twitter. He said he posted a picture of a book called The Rest of the Story, and
I
then
saw that.
yeah, and then he said like very soon question mark like tomorrow question mark. So yes, and then he finally just outright said 8 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. So yeah, like
Yeah, one of my tournament buddies texted me Praetor. He said, dude, he didn't even say anything. He just sent the picture, and I'm like, oh shit.
yeah, I can't fucking wait. I'm ready, so ready to see some cinematics from story or just like a trailer. And one has to think, well, and then he also tweeted a picture of just a cage, and so that's pretty obvious what that's hinting towards. Johnny Cage. So I'm expecting to get Johnny Cage and Melina and probably Sonya. I would at least those are the 3 confirmed. I'm pretty sure that we're gonna get just story wise, but I could also easily see like Shinnok because he's gonna be a big part.
That was sexy. Ooh.
Yeah, I could easily see Shinnok being revealed and like your Aaron Blacks and stuff like that. So we'll see in Takeda because they're all relevant to story. So that's why I feel like they've been waiting. So I feel
Well,
like for sure.
This whole thing is kind of like a giant moral victory for you, especially because a lot of people were saying we're not going to reveal. This is bullshit. This week we were supposed to get revealed. Nothing's happening, and you told people to wait and be patient.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's give them a chance.
I said that.
You need to get a big handful of that and just really rub it in their faces. Like
I
pry
should.
their eyes open. Fucking rub that shit in.
I should go to, I think, was it Jaded Rain that was like, called me like the Hope Everlasting, not Hope Everlasting, but you know what I'm talking about, the fucking, because basically just poking fun at the idea that I'm always having hope even though we get disappointed a lot. But this time it paid off, so.
Yeah, if you were a Star Wars film, you'd be A New Hope.
Right, because the thing is, like, people were, like, disappointed that we weren't going to get a character reveal. It's very likely we're going to get multiple character reveals, all in a story trailer on top of that, which we've been waiting for forever. And Brutalities are awesome. So, I mean, this is big. They did not disappoint.
I mean, it's hard to be excited because I'm still digesting all this. Like, it's like if someone told me, "Hey, Brandon, the game's coming out tomorrow, dude. It's gonna be out." Would I be excited? I wouldn't know what to think. I'd just be like, I don't know what to say. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to play the game tomorrow. I'm still processing that I'm getting the character reveals tomorrow. Like more like when I heard Cage was probably being revealed tomorrow, I was like, okay, cool. That's great. You know, that's. I mean, I'm excited, but like, it was what I expected. It didn't surprise me too much. I knew a reveal was not. We had like 5 days to wait till we got a review.
Right.
I can't fucking talk. I need to relearn how to talk. I should just give up now. Learn Spanish. English is too hard. Spanish is probably harder. But yeah, no, it's just crazy. But oh my god, do I want to stay up till 8?
Yeah, that's the tough part. Is I don't know whether to stay up or just like go to sleep when I go to sleep and just set my alarm, be miserable, watch the trailer. We could record our live reactions and then just go back to sleep when we're done.
Well, you know, that's the thing, dude. I can't fall asleep. Like, I went to bed at like 5:30, 6 o'clock last night.
Yeah, we
And
went
I
to
just
bed
stared
at
at my ceiling, dude.
we went to bed at like 8:30.
Sure you can.
So that's 3 from Scorpion we've already seen. 3 different
Dude,
ones.
that uppercut was sick, dude.
Yeah. We've seen the uppercut, we've seen the like where he throws his both spears in the person's chest and just like fucking blows up their chest. And then
But you would have beat me.
and
The
then
arms.
the arms with the swords. So that's pretty awesome.
That was amazing.
But yeah, like I said, I was just staring at my ceiling. 6 a.m. in the morning because I'm like, I can't sleep. Like, at all.
Yeah.
But I wake up earlier than I need to. I go into work at 3:30. I try to be out of bed by 12:45, just so I have that mental cushion, so I don't just get out of bed and go to work. Because I can do that, but I'm miserable. Like, I need, like, that calibration moment.
Right.
That, like, 1.5 hours of just being me and not being at work.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like a raw fucking egg when I'm at work. Like, after I've only been awake for like 25 minutes, it's a shitty feeling to
Yeah.
me.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
But fuck it, we're gonna have to do it tomorrow, won't we? So,
Yeah, we got to figure out a way, whether we stay up or something. I want to do it because
I'm
it's
trying to
gonna be
condition
super
myself to go to
hype.
bed earlier because I'm going to Houston
I am too.
for Saturday, and I have to be up by like 10. So
Ugh.
I'm gonna die, but it's okay because it's for a good cause.
I know we gotta get Justin on board. I think he agreed to at least wake up. I don't know if he's still up right now. I would imagine so. He doesn't go to sleep very early.
No, he doesn't.
Let's see here. Oh. Okay, let's see. Yeah, he's online.
Very, very soon.
Let's try to get him in here. But yeah,
Thanks for joining us again.
man, I just so happy with it.
Number 5.
I'm looking forward to hearing everyone else's reaction. That's gonna be fun.
It's very
like
similar
that
to
sh-
it's very similar to what happened when you first saw Cassie's. You were just like, what was that it? That was literally Razor's word was that it? And mine was like, I was in the middle of talking as I saw it and I was like, what and then Razor was like, did Cassie just punch her in the balls? Even though that doesn't make any sense, but did she just punch her and then her head popped off? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah,
See, I didn't even see the head come off the first time. I just saw the punches. I was like,
Yeah.
what? Because my eyes went straight to Brutality. I was like, what?
right. No, I don't. The head didn't come off in that one. Cassie has one where she punches you in the balls and your head pops off.
Yeah, all that I saw. I was like, that. Ugh.
It's just ridiculous. But they did say they're gonna have some goofy ones mixed with the serious ones. So there's gonna be a good variety, which is always good.
Oh man, for the next episode we got to come up with our own Brutality. We get one
Yeah.
character, and we assign a judge, and the judge will decide.
Right. For sure. We could just go character by character, and we just say, choose one special to come up with a, what would a good ender for this special be, and that would be a lot of fun because
This could be like 2 hours of the graveyard shift of just fucking doing this.
yeah, I'm so stoked because they said over 100, so that means, okay, we got, even if we get 25 characters, that means 4 per character plus then some. So it's likely we're getting more than 25 characters just based on that idea alone, because it's likely we're going to get 3 to 4 per character, I'd say. So if we have over 100, that's a good chance that we do have more than 25.
Yeah, and they'll come down to that question of, all right, I'm playing my character, and I know I want a Brutality I think I can do one on this opponent.
Right.
Now, do I go for my favorite, or do I go with the one that's practical? And that'll be a fun mind game for me.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I am at first I was just kind of like not disappointed, but I was really thrown off. I was like, "Wait a minute, she just like that was cuz we were all expecting something like ridiculously over the top brutal, but we didn't take it in the sense of like one it's just using the name, but also it is kind of brutal because you're literally just ending them right there. So, I mean, it's brutal in a different sense.
Yeah.
It's just a completely different type than we were expecting. We were like, well, it's Mortal Kombat, brutality. Unless it's going to be another combo into like just a random explosion, it's probably going to be something where they try and go over the top gory in a different way where it's just like cringeworthy to watch. And it's like, I'm so glad they didn't do that and they took this direction.
It's like if you could form a substance out of not caring, if not caring could be like, an observable fluid.
Yeah.
You would have filled tanks with that concept. You would have filled a fucking swimming pool of not fucking caring. If it was just like a gorier fatality, I would not have given two motherfucking shits.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And now we have a nice variety, especially if they throw like friendships, but I'm crossing my fingers, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But I'm still holding out hope that there is friendships just for that nice, that'll complete the spectrum. Because honestly, I see fatalities as the ultimate, like you said, YouTube movie where they're just over the top and they're just, extremely gory, really showing off the gore tech to the highest degree. Brutalities are a lot quicker way of doing a fatality, and they're just a lot simpler and to the point, which is really cool. And they're always using their specials, which is really nice. And then there's gonna be some that are goofy, so you have a nice little balance in that aspect alone. And then there's gonna be if you threw like, then you have stage fatalities, which we haven't heard anything about, so we still aren't sure like what the hell we're in store for that. But yeah, if you threw friendships on top, and you got faction kills, like there's a lot of fucking options for the people that are into fatalities and stuff. There's so many options this time around, which is really cool.
I mean, I'll bring this up on the show, of course, but I'm almost wondering if faction kills are taking the place of stage fatalities, if that's the direction they're going.
I really hope not, but I mean, I wouldn't judge it till I saw it,
Yeah, well, I can go either way. Like, stage fatalities are really much cooler when it's a classic stage. So if a new stage doesn't have the stage fatality, I'm not really going to hold it against it.
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't be too heartbreaking for me. Like,
right.
It would be cool if there's like one stage fatality in the entire game, but it's like the rainbow road of stage fatalities, and it's just crazy. You can only do it under like super obscure conditions.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would definitely be special and unique. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm just blown away by Brutalities. I liked them a lot more than I thought I would. I was really worried and like cautiously optimistic about what they could be, just because they weren't good before. They were my least favorite. I mean, maybe Animalities, but I mean, it's tough. I just didn't enjoy them before. So yeah, I mean, to revamp them, this is like the perfect way, in my opinion. And I'm just so happy, and I love the options, because when you first see Cassie do it, you're like, that's it, that's gonna be hers, as she tackles them, punches them in the face 4 times. It's like, oh, okay, like, but then when they tell you there's 100 and you're obviously gonna get 3 to 4 per character, that's amazing. that's a lot. I mean, that it still takes work to do that, even though there's a lot simpler and they're not as like cinematic. It's amazing that they can pull that off. Like, I just think that's really cool.
Well, I thought when I first saw Cassie's, I'm like, oh, I get it now. You can't fool me. I know what's going on. So you can do brutalities, but they don't look cool unless you do them right. I'm on to you, NetherRealm. And then I was like, nope.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is we're definitely going to get some that are less like showy or cool, but that's why I'm so happy that there's going to be so many, because you can afford to have a character have a couple that just like, I don't really feel this one, but they showed off some really cool ones in that trailer. Like, my favorites personally were Raiden's. I like Quan Chi's. I liked Devora's. Was really cool just because you didn't see that end coming. You're like, what? She just stabs him in the chest with her like little whatever the hell that is, and then okay, like it's like an Aliens reference, almost like they pop out of the stomach. So that's cool. Like I like that, and
I have a way to make that better, but I don't think anyone would agree with me, and I think it might be pushing the line a little too far.
What's that?
What if before the alien busted out of your chest, instead of putting one of her tentacles inside you, she straddles your face like a face hugger,
Oh god.
and then you just hear screaming, and then she like jumps off.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. That would be fucking disturbing.
It would be a little too much.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I'm just excited. Like, yeah, I also like that Cassie said you got caged during her
That was cool. I
brawler.
remember that.
Yeah.
Okay, can you explain Brawler to me? I'm a little confused. So it looks like she has an overhead and an air throw. I didn't get it. I guess because the podcast sound and the stream sound were kind of blending.
Right.
What else can she do in that?
She had a. It was tough to follow at times, especially because I think they were so with that one, especially they were so worried that because that's the one they led into the brutality with. So I think they were being very careful about what they did to not kill the person. But they did the air throw and the overhead, and she has a grab where she grabs their arm and then pops their elbow, like breaks it, and then she has like it's a command grab, and she had that tackle and then punch one. I don't know if there's anything else specific. So they said it's when they were talking over it, they said it's very MMA inspired. Like they did a lot of research and they wanted to give her an MMA based variation.
Well, that grapple she had looked a lot like Sonya's in her military stance grapple.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. So that might actually be. Well, it was useful in MK9
Right.
because if you were doing pressure, you had to worry about that grapple. It was a high-low mix-up. So that's going to be interesting. I'm very curious. And she doesn't look anything like MK9 Johnny.
No.
You see, no matter who they reveal tomorrow, Johnny is the one I've been waiting for a long time because MK9 Johnny is the funnest character in fighting game history. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
He is a blast. Like when you're locking someone down and you really make them feel like they can't do anything, it's the greatest. I have to go back to Justin when it was my Cage versus Sub-Zero. That just feeling of, oh my god, it's that feeling of control, you know. And I could tell Justin was getting so pissed, but it wasn't his fault. That's Cage. That's what Cage does.
Yeah.
Cage takes away your options. He makes you feel all small and weak, and I love it.
Yeah.
But I don't feel bad. He bodied me with Sub-Zero enough time. He bodied my Cage more than my Cage bodied Sub-Zero. So
Jeez. Yeah.
we're not done yet, Justin. We're playing again. Cage Sub-Zero lives on.
I'm excited to see Cage for sure. I think they really made fans out of a lot of people with the MK9 version of Johnny Cage, and I think they have a lot to live up to with Cage just because he was so amazing in MK9. A lot of people say it's the best Cage we've ever seen, and with the way MKX is going, just the revamps of characters and just the improvement on the visuals and just the inclusion of moves and the variations, yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do with Cage this time around.
I'd like to take a moment to make a prediction.
What's that?
Johnny Cage's slogan in MK9, as bestowed by the community, the fighting game community, was a knee and a dream. Because that's all you wanted to do. You wanted to connect with that knee, whether it be blocked, whether it would connect. It didn't matter. Knee and a dream.
Right.
I have a feeling his rushdown variation is going to be something in a dream. It's going to have dream in there. It's going to be, I don't know. They're going to do something. Because if you look at KTP, they say let's be serious a lot. Like at first it was unintentional, but then once they realized that they overused the expression,
Yeah.
it became like a tagline. There's even a shirt that says let's be serious, MK9 is dead. That was the TYM shirt, I think. So when Injustice came out, that was the name of Joker's super move, is let's be serious. And I'm like, that's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
No, it's no surprise because 16-bit's now a tester for the game, but I really want to see something like that with Cage. And I don't think I'm wrong. I would wager good money that that's going to be the name of one of his variations, some derivative of it.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Cool.
And if I'm right, then you guys have to give me money or some shit. I don't know how it works. You decide.
I didn't receive any checks for my Kung Lao fatality prediction.
Well, I mean, you should follow up on that. You should find out why that is.
Checks in the
That's a
mail,
problem.
right?
Don't take that shit.
Yeah. See, here's what I'm expecting from the story trailer tomorrow is I'm expecting Johnny, Sonya, and Melina. I think those are the three that we're almost guaranteed to get. The only one I'm skeptical about is in that three is Sonya, but I'm pretty sure Melina and Johnny are almost guaranteed. Sonya is very likely, and then I think down from there, I think Shinnok and Aaron Black are pretty likely, but they might hold off on them for whatever reason. I do think we're going to see Shinnok. I just don't know if we'll see him in gameplay. But I think we have to because he's the first third
Story trailer.
Yeah, he's the first third of story, and I think they know people have been waiting for Shinnok, and I think they've been waiting for this kick-ass story trailer to be the first reveal of him. So beyond them, I do think I'll make my prediction is I think we're gonna get somebody we are not expecting, and I'm not just saying like, oh, we're gonna get Jackie or we're gonna get somebody we weren't expecting revealed right now. I think we're gonna get a character that we weren't necessarily expecting to make it, and that could be somebody like Raiko or Fujin, or Havoc or something. Like we're wanting them in, but I don't know if any of us necessarily expect them to 100% be in. We're still all like hoping and crossing our fingers, but they haven't given anything away that's like this character's in. It's not like Sonya, Johnny, and Jax and stuff like that have pretty much are guaranteed to be in at this point because we've seen
Liu Kang even I'd add to that list.
Liu Kang, the Bowman character. So I'm expecting to see somebody we are just not expecting. That would be my prediction because I think if there's any time to do it, it is in the story trailer because you're going to be like, oh, Johnny, holy shit, Raiko, are you fucking kidding me? Like especially coming off the comics, no better time to reveal Raiko than now if he's in the game because all this hype from the comics of like actually turning him, they're really playing up the strategist, mastermind thing. So why not? And I'm just saying, and they need to reveal somebody from MK4 through MK Deception because they know people want. They just want to see one person from that era besides Quan Chi and Kenshi. I feel like they just need to reveal somebody sooner rather than later, just to, soothe the minds of the people that have been like crying out loud. And I don't mean that like as an insult. They're just like they're fucking like give us a character by now. Like that just needs to happen. I feel like.
Well, I almost wouldn't be surprised if. Remember how what's the comic writer's name? The comic guy. Kittleson.
Kittleson, yeah.
Remember how Kittleson said the reason why some people are wearing their Armageddon costumes is because at the point of the game where their story is most relevant, they don't have a costume for that, or they don't have a costume for this era.
Right.
They have a costume for the next era. I don't think that's the case for Reiko. I think what happened, I wouldn't be surprised if it was an executive order from Warner Brothers / NetherRealm that said, do not draw Reiko in his new costume. Do not give away the fact that Reiko's in this game. Put him in his Armageddon costume because we're going to reveal him. It's going to be a big deal, and we don't want to tip off the fans. This is going to be big. Draw the Armageddon costume. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened.
Right. And
Fujin too.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. And I think they even said before the comic, or when the comic series first took off, they said in an interview that it might even been the Tether one. I'm not even sure that there's going to be certain costumes that are in the comics that aren't in the game, so they're just exclusive to the comics. But on the other token, there's going to be certain costumes that are going to be in the game that aren't in the comic. So I'm totally in agreement with you that could definitely be an aspect. Because what better way to fool somebody? And that is one big tell, especially Razor feels the same way. Is who's in the game and who's not. But what better way to fool people than to purposely do that to play up that fact? And then they'll reveal them in the game. Then, next week in the comic, they could just, in that issue, they start using their new outfit. It could just be a big fucking, they planned it out and they just said, look, we're not going to reveal our story trailer probably till the end of February at the earliest. So just don't draw him like this until whatever. So who knows? I mean, we don't know. I feel like haven't we seen characters in different outfits? Sub-Zero, but we haven't even really seen him in his MKX outfit yet. We just saw him in the preview.
Cage in the cargo vest might be the one that doesn't make it, which is a shame. That's the best Cage has ever looked to me. I have a weird fetish about cargo vests, but I never wear one because I feel like if you wear a cargo vest, but you're not a gunsman or a fisherman, you're a fraud. And I'm neither of those things.
Yeah.
I wish I could fish, but I fucking can't. And if you're 100 miles away from a lake or the ocean shore and you're wearing a fishing vest, you look like a dipshit, you know? But God, if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'm gonna put on a fucking cargo vest so fucking quickly. You don't even know, man. Like, I'm gonna have Skittles in that thing, but it doesn't fucking matter because I'm gonna have a fucking cargo vest. But yeah, no, I love that costume. I think that's what they were referring to, and that would make me sad because I think it's a really good looking costume. I think Sonya's Jill Valentine costume might be what they're referring to.
Yeah, perhaps.
Probably just they probably wouldn't even want to put that in there just to distinguish her from Cassie, because Cassie kind of has the Resident Evil 5 Jill thing going right now.
Right.
Cassie's costume does look better. It looks a lot more detailed now. Maybe I just didn't realize it before, but it does look like there's a lot more going on in the costume now.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it was just so funny because we were just like it was the graveyard shift we did last night where we were just like, I'm so tired of speculating. Like, I'm just like, there's nothing to speculate on anymore. And literally they got us the next day where they're like, okay, it's time for speculation again because here's Brutalities. So now you're like, oh, this is great. And then on top of that, we're going to give you probably the hypest trailer you get since maybe, the initial trailer. Like, or just in ever. I mean, the story trailers are always my favorite, usually. I mean, it just depends what kind of story trailer it is. Are we going to get, like, the intro cinematic? Well, I doubt that. But, I mean, what are we getting with the story trailer? Are we just going to get a lot of, like, cutscenes, like, spliced up from the story where we're going to see a lot of character reveals, which is probably the more likely thing. But...
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what I pictured. If I had to give a number, I want to say in terms of just, like 3-frame reveals where they just show like a character's head or they show like one line from a character and that's the reveal.
Right.
I would say we're gonna get like 5 characters of just stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I definitely expect it to be around 5 characters revealed in that sense where we'll just see them, but we won't see them in gameplay quite yet. And that's what, March will be filled up with just fucking here's this character, here's this character, here's this character that you already knew. Like, and that's why I expect to see some surprises in the sense that we're not going to just get, the ones that we already know are in the game. We're going to get some that we've speculated might be in the game, and we're going to get, like I said, I fully believe we're going to get one that's just like, fuck yes, thank God he's in this game type of thing.
If Lee May is in tomorrow's trailer, if she's in the trailer, I feel like I want to do something special for the podcast. I have no fucking idea what I would do, but I want to give back because I'd be so happy. Because, even with speculating, like if Lee May's in the trailer, I don't need to speculate. I'm done speculating. I got Lee May. I don't really fucking care who's in the trailer anymore. I got my main, so yeah.
Well, I fully expect a lot of characters to be in story mode that aren't going to be playable. So that poses a problem is, are we going to see a lot of characters tomorrow that aren't necessarily playable, and are we going to be able to distinguish between the two?
That's a good point, but when Hemrick said that we're not going to limit the roster will be determined by development time.
Right.
That's a really good sign. So I have a feeling they decided on the cameos really early on, and they said, okay, there's a lot of cameos here. We'll use that whatever development time's left will dictate how many of these cameos are actually cameos and how many are actually roster characters.
Yeah, that's definitely that's what I was thinking too. So. I'm just interested to see what we get because I expect tomorrow to be another like blow the lid off of everything, and it's gonna be the next big like leap forward in sense of how much content we're getting and finally getting story revealed and finally getting a lot more characters revealed. Shadowloo's been the biggest proponent of this, at least on the forums. Is he's always said part of the reason why they're just holding back on a lot of the new characters or just like certain specific characters is just because story spoilers, and I think once they release that story trailer where they're gonna show everything, like all the big plot line of the story and a lot of the characters that are gonna be main players and whatnot, I feel like this is finally like the opening up of that well, and we're finally gonna get all the damn stuff we should have gotten before. So now it's time to like really be like, what are we going to get those MK4 through, deception representees, and who?
Yeah, Shinnok is what comes to mind especially. I mean, I think I agree with Shadowloo, and I feel like he was mostly talking about the new characters, like in terms of descendants.
Right.
But like Shinnok, like imagine if like Shinnok's intro is just the fucking Cloverfield monster just walks up and then he turns into Wizard Shinnok.
Yeah.
And then he says, "I'll defeat you now," or some bullshit. Like, that would be huge. I mean, it'd be literally huge because he's the Cloverfield. How? Okay, this is neither here nor there, but how he does look like the Cloverfield monster, right? Am I crazy?
Shinnok?
Yeah. Not obviously not the main form, but like when he goes all crazy and monsterish.
The Cloverfield monster?
I'll put a link in the chat.
Because
See it like that.
Cloverfield monster is extremely big, though.
Yeah, but I mean, just like the form.
I'm not seeing it, but it's been a while since I've seen Cloverfield, so I could just be forgetting what the monster looks like.
Let's see.
I'll just search Cloverfield monster on Google.
Yeah, I got Shinnok in the link in the chat. Although I don't blame Shadaloo for not liking Cloverfield. I know a lot of people who didn't like Cloverfield. I think it's okay.
I
think
liked
it's
it, yeah. I like big
it's a
monster
definite
movies,
pass.
though.
Well, it's probably the only monster movie I've ever seen where I could suspend belief. Like when it's in first person view,
Right.
it's almost like a slasher flick.
Yeah.
Where you don't know where the monster is. You hear it, you feel it, but you don't know how close it is. Like, no monster movie's ever done that before.
Yeah.
Like, I love Godzilla. I think Godzilla was the best movie of 2014.
Yeah, I like Godzilla. My only complaint with it was fucking... Spoiler. Bryan Cranston being killed off was kind of like... That sucked. Like, I feel like he should... I thought he was more interesting than his son. So...
Yeah, that was... And, you know, I almost hope they bring him back, like, Jeff Goldblum style. Just like, I wasn't really dead. I was in, like, a coma. I'm Bryan Cranston or
That's
some
what
shit.
they should have done. They should have just wrote him off as, like, he's, you know, critically injured, but he's in the hospital. You know, you didn't have to... I feel like that was kind of a bait and switch to a degree, which you didn't need that for Godzilla. But, I mean, Bryan Cranston in the trailer sold that fucking movie. If, you know, Godzilla didn't do it for you, Bryan Cranston did. And...
Yeah.
The fact that he's out like 30 minutes into the movie, you're like, shit.
Yeah, and they even interviewed the writers, or was it the director? I don't know. They said, why did you fucking hack off Cranston so early in the movie? And they basically said, we didn't realize how well perceived he was going to be. We didn't realize the reception was going to be that good for his performance. Which is dumb because of Breaking Bad, but...
Yeah, like, come on, folks. Dude, you just posted another picture of Wonder Woman. The same one.
Did I?
He posted a picture of fucking Tim Curry Wonder Woman.
Oh, man, do I have to fucking... Okay, let's do it. How did that even happen?
See, I'm not seeing Shinnok. I mean, I'm waiting for the picture, but, like, I don't get it. Like, what about him looks like Shinnok?
Let me get the... Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm going to test this one so I know it doesn't look like fucking Wonder Woman, Tim Curry. Okay, copy paste. Okay, it is not Wonder Woman, so this one should work.
Alright. What in the fuck? Oh, Shinnok from...
Mythologies, yeah.
Okay, see, that's where I was like...
You thought I meant the human wizard Shinnok?
Dude, I haven't played Mythologies in God knows how long. So, yes, I totally forgot that's a thing. I didn't know he had, like, fucking... That wasn't his final form. Like, what the hell is that? I didn't know... He can seriously turn into that?
I mean, it's probably retconned by this point. I doubt, like, I think it was just like a way to do a boss fight in a game that probably didn't deserve a boss fight at this level, but they wanted to do it anyway, and this is how they justified it. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, this is not really canon. This was a mechanic that we were trying to sell you at the time, so... I don't know, that'd be a good question for Razer. I wonder if, you know, if Razer thinks this is something that's going to remain canon, but just be never, like, put in the spotlight ever again. Or if it's just like, no, Shinnok cannot turn into a Cloverfield monster. That is not a thing anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, we recorded another graveyard shift last night, by the way.
Well, when y'all said y'all went to bed at 8, I had a feeling.
Yeah, we weren't gonna...
And you were already tired,
No,
too.
dude,
so...
I was dead tired by the time we were finally done. I was just like, dude, I have to go to sleep, because I was just gonna go to sleep at that point. But then he was like, "So you still want to record another one?" And I was like, if you want to. I mean, like, if you come up with a good topic, I'd be all game for it. But if you can't, then yeah, I'll just go to sleep. But we came up with a good idea of we came up with 20 questions, like, or 20 topics, not even really questions, 20 topics, and then I rolled a d20 to randomly choose a topic. And then once we were done discussing that topic, we just went to the next topic with another d20 roll. So it's completely random each time. So then when you're done with those numbers, you cross them off, and then between graveyard shifts, like when we don't have topics, readily available, we could just be like, hey, let's do the list again. And plus then people can suggest topics and we can make it one of the numbers. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's pretty tight.
But yeah,
It was so funny, like waking up in the morning and going to the chat, and there's only one response, and it was Razor saying, "The fuck did I miss?" It's just all statistics in the chat. It has no meaning, has no context.
Yeah.
It's cracking my ass up, dude.
Yeah. But yeah. Totally forgot where the hell we were before.
I will say this though, I'm never drinking during a graveyard shift ever again. Like that's an oath.
That's what fucking Justin said, and he did again. So I don't know if I believe you.
I don't know. After the whole Motaro rape comment, I was like, I woke up in the morning, and that's the first thing I thought of. I'm like, I'm never fucking drinking during a fucking.
That was still so good though.
Because when you're fucking buzzed like that, and someone tells you something to do something really quick, your first instinct is like, well, just you're not like, no, I have dignity. I'm not going to answer that horrible question.
I think that's probably why the listeners like it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm looking forward to hearing the new one. I'm halfway through the first two, so I got some catch up to do. But I'm about 30 minutes into the new episode for show notes, so that should be done pretty soon.
Cool.
Here's my question to you guys. Do we know for sure it's going to be at 8 o'clock?
No, that's the only problem is I see, like, I don't want to stay up till 8 and then be like, we don't know what the problem is. We're just waiting on them. Like, that always happens with shit like that. Like, everything's good on our end. We're just waiting for them to post it.
I might have to back out on principle, because if I stayed up till 8:30 and there's no fucking reveal trailer, and I'm at work with like fucking like black bags under my eyes, fucking hefty bags underneath my eyes, and I still haven't seen the trailer yet, like, I don't know, some coworker's gonna fucking lose his spine over it. They're gonna say the wrong fucking thing to me, and I'd be like,
all I know is he listed 8 Central Standard Time, so I'm almost curious to see who's posting it, and like, if it's them on their YouTube account, I think it would be right away, because clearly there's a purpose to it, and they could even have it scheduled. Like, they could already have it uploaded to YouTube and just have it scheduled for release, so it just drop right away. And they've released stuff right at 8 a.m. before, so I trust them on their timing, because it was what was that? It was like, I don't know. It was it was the trailer about Where Have You Been, Johnny Cage. It was that trailer. They released that like at 8 a.m. because I remember getting to work. I checked before work, it wasn't there, and then I got to work and it was there. So, I believe they can do it. It just depends. Like if they're like, if they're relying on like third-party gaming websites, then I don't know. But even IGN posts articles that early, so I'm not sure. So I'm curious, but yeah, I don't know. I just want to see the damn thing. So yeah, for sure, it's really tempting. I don't want there to be like fucking like 50 conversations already by the time I fucking get around to watching it, because then I have to catch up on everybody's Skype messages just to see how everybody feels.
Dude, there's like 247 like Skype messages I have not read yet, just because I went straight to the stream. I wasn't even fucking around.
Yeah. I don't even remember what the hell we talked about, but we just went on some random tangents and blah blah blahs.
Well, you know what, dude? If they said 8 a.m., that's fine. But like, I didn't know where y'all got the number. Like, I didn't know if y'all got the time. Like, if y'all all just agreed that they normally release things at 8 a.m.
I would not commit to something like that if it was just up in the air. No, Ed specifically put on Twitter in its own, he posted that part of the storybook post. He just said, it just says 8 Central Standard Time. So.
AM, right?
Yes.
Not PM?
Yeah,
okay.
that's correct. That would be stupid.
Because if you guys were just speculating the 8 a.m. thing, and I found that out at like 8:15, and there was no trailer, I would have reached through the Skype and grabbed your fucking necks like Beetlejuice style. I would not even been fucking around, man.
Nope, he said, yeah, best of the story, or, yeah, rest of the story, I believe. It's hard to tell if that's a B or a R. And then with the picture, he just put 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So, yeah, that's... looks like the time. Yeah, some people in the forums didn't like the Brutalities just for reasons, but...
I don't know what they wanted then. Did they want like a super brutal fatality?
One, I see, it just depends. It's a very small number. It's definitely in favor of liking. It was probably like 80-20 maybe in favor of in favor of the new Brutalities. The very small amount that disliked it seemed to dislike it because, one, the name Brutality, they're like, why is this called Brutality if it's not more brutal than a fatality? Why is it called Brutality? And even though I was like, yeah, that's kind of weird, but that doesn't overtake the fact that it's just awesome in general. It could be called fucking I don't give a shit. It could be called an animality and have nothing to do with animals, and I'd still enjoy it if it's cool. You know?
I might like it more. I don't know, but I mean, my thing is like, yeah, I see your point, but I don't care.
Right. Like, I totally get the point. It was something we even brought up in our initial reactions, and when me, Razor, and Justin were talking, we were like, me and Justin were talking, and Razor was kind of defending it a bit, but I mean, it wasn't something we were hung up on, like, why this is stupid, I don't like this because of this name. It's just more like, why would they choose that? Like, why is this considered brutal? But it's like, it doesn't matter because it's amazing. So totally, yeah, whatever, they get a pass. And Razor brought up the good point. What would you call this if you're trying to still stick with ality? There's not very many options. You can throw ality at the end and have it sound decent, whereas brutality is great.
Yeah, I think semantics are important, but not in this issue. In this issue, I don't give two shits.
Right.
Like, this is whatever.
And then some people really wanted like classic long stream combo into explosion. Like, just basically they just wanted the same as Brutalities of before, but they wanted it just brought back, just new. So I disagree with that, but yeah.
I mean, well, let me put it this way: if that was a mid-match finisher,
Right,
and
totally.
it was character unique, like Sub-Zero only uses Corey blades, like fucking Scorpion only uses teleports, like that might have been cool to look at. But for what it is, I like the concept better because it's so
agreed.
uniquely MK. No one has done this before. You know.
They were talking in the chat, Shadowloo and Razor and Justin, I think. They said something, this is very Killer Instinct like Ultimates or something like that. Does that ring a bell to you? I don't play Killer Instinct.
With Ultimates, yes, it's similar, but here's the differences. It wasn't circumstance dependent. I think there was like one conditional you had to meet. I think maybe it had to be like the second round or something like that. But there were no cues in the match you had to do. It was not earned. It was just a finisher. Yeah, it happened in mid-match. It was the same condition as an Ultra.
Right.
But the same thing happened every time for one thing. That's a big difference. Another difference is, like I said, well, let me research it. I want to make sure I'm not talking out of... I'm still looking at this fucking picture of Shinnok, yeah?
They were mentioning how original Brutalities were kind of like a play on Killer Instincts, whatever. Like I said, I'm not familiar enough with the damn game to know, but the original Brutalities were based on Killer Instinct, like just the idea was taken from Killer Instinct, and these new ones are a different type of finisher in Killer Instinct, but
yeah, I was right, dude. I'm reading it right now. An ultimate is just a combo that cancels into a finisher.
Okay.
That's all it is. So yeah, it's similar in that, but there's no conditionals. This is closer to a Babality than it is to an ultimate, in my opinion.
Right.
It has the same aesthetic concept as an ultimate, but the method is completely different, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Also, it has to be different because you have to finish your character off with the move. That wasn't the case with the ultimate. You just had to do enough damage to fucking kill the opponent. There really was no conditional beyond that. So it is different in that respect. And ultimates aren't gone, by the way. Shadow Jago has an ultimate. You can't do it, but he has one. And it looks really good, too. It's a shame Ultimates aren't coming back for Season 2, but I see why they're waiting. That's going to be, I think, the big selling point of fucking Season 3. So and also they're out of the only two big characters Killer Instinct has left to sell people is Kim Woo,
Yep.
and that's the only like agreed upon one. The other one is debatable, and that's Tusk. And you could, as a third, you could argue Gargos, but Gargos is kind of like Rain, where the people who like him really like him. I don't think anyone else gives a shit. Or people like casually like him, but there's no demand there. But Tusk and Kim Woo, that's really all season 3 has going for it in terms of like classic appeal. So ultimates are going to be the big selling point of the next season.
Yeah, I guess Shadowloo said I finally found what he said exactly in the chat, and he said the old brutalities were like MK's answer to Killer Instinct's ultra combos, whereas these new ones are like the ultimates.
Yeah, it's definitely a fair comparison.
Yeah,
I would still say they're different creatures, but like, a tiger is a different creature from an elephant, but they're both quadrupedal. They're both mammals. So I'm like, okay, fair. A tiger's closer than an elephant than a cat is to a lizard. So I don't know what I'm talking about, but animals, yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of. Did we see Reptiles Brutality? I didn't even. I can't remember.
No, I don't think we did. I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't remember either.
Oh, man, there's gonna be so much tongue.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I hope we have one that's tongue related with his throw would be perfect. Or just in general, if he has another move that can transition into it, I think would be really cool.
There's gonna be a ridiculous amount of tongue. There's gonna be like a Russell Brand amount of tongue going on with that Brutality, and it's gonna be fucking epic.
He should have.
That'd be crazy. That'd be insane. What if that's his classic head rip Fatality? If you want the classic head rip, this is how you do it now.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier, is like how easy would it be to do like Sub-Zero's spine rip or Scorpion's toasty off of just something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great way to bring back classic fatalities that you couldn't really bring back in MK9 because they had to be assigned their own slot,
Right.
Now you can do them all. Now every classic fatality ever could come back.
Yeah.
Did you like Quan Chi's next stretch? Maybe it's back. We don't know. I liked it. I want to see it back.
I hope he grabs onto their neck and then just jumps through the portal and it just gets stretched from portal to portal. That'd be ridiculous. Oh, that was something somebody pointed out. Might have even been Darkhound. I'm not sure because I know we were talking about it earlier actually. But that other fatality looking thing of Quan Chi where it was the two arms coming from the portals that looked like they just ripped the opponent in half. That could very well be a Brutality because he has a special like that.
Yeah, that's true. And the camera angles make me think it is a Brutality.
Yeah, the camera angle was like that. So that's the thing is we weren't sure. I mentioned it earlier, and Razor said he wasn't sure if the screen was dark when that was taking place. I should pull it up. It was the
Well, with
next
Katana's Brutality, I saw the screen get darker. So.
Oh, was it? Yeah. Okay. Well then.
Yeah. It's more like a tinted gray than it is an actual like
Right.
I don't have a word for it, but just the actual like the lights dimming like it does with a traditional fatality.
Exactly.
Everything
That's why I
kinda
love
grays
it.
out.
That's why I love
Yeah.
it so damn much. It's so much like I love traditional fatality noises and the appearance way more than I like the newer ones. Just because I like dimmer, but I don't like completely dark, and also I like that dun dun dun, and then you do the fatality, and then that weird noise in MK2 always gets me. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's unsettling. It's just creepy.
Yeah, Forden was really good at that. And my favorite fatality cue noise has always been MK1, where you just hear that bass.
Yeah.
Then you hear the scream. I feel like it prefaces it so well, but. So what do we call this? Are we doing a graveyard shift right now? I don't even know.
No.
Is this a Temp's reaction video?
Right. That's what it's gonna be. So we'll probably end this now, and then we can keep talking outside of it. But yeah, just for the sake of having it condensed to that subject mainly, we'll end this just so I can throw it up on YouTube quickly because I wanted to. The whole reason I got them up there is one, I wanted them to be timely. I didn't want to throw this up like 5 days from now. I wanted it to be right after, just so people can check it out. People really like the idea of us. The YouTube comments thus far on the other one was like, oh, this is so awesome that you did this. I was hoping you'd do this. So that's why I'm like really wanting to do it with the story trailers, because people want to hear our reactions to it like live in that sense, because it's a lot better than after you process it for a while. Because after you process it, obviously you're either going to decide you don't like it or decide you really like it, but people want your initial reaction and see the thought process, because I think all of our mindset when we first saw that Brutality with Cassie was like, that's it? Like that wasn't that that seems really like minimal. Like, what the hell just happened? Like, all she did was punch a guy in the face. It didn't even look like, really that damaging. But then when you saw the overall picture and you got the idea and the concept they were going for, you're like, this totally works. Like, I was sold on it after I heard them explain it. I wasn't sold on it immediately.
Yeah, I mean, like I was that was kind of my favorite part of the stream because it just like it was like a whiplash effect. Like what?
Right, exactly. It was good. It was like it kind of did a nice job of like bringing your expectations down for a second where you're like, "Oh, wait, what? What?" Like, so it kind of like brought you down a little bit where you're like, "Is this it?" And then they show you the montage and you're like, "Wow, those are actually pretty cool." Okay, so they're not going to be just like, a couple punches and that's it. They're actually using their specials and then you get the idea. But then as you further hear them explained and how they're implemented, then you're like, okay, oh, I get it. All right, I'm on board. And then the more you think about it, and you more let it like, you just like put things together, and you kind of realize what they're offering. Then you're just like, you really start to like it, and that's kind of how
That
it went
took a
for me.
long time. It took a really long, even like when I was 2/3 the trailer, I still didn't really understand. I'm like, okay, so I get they die, and I get that it's bloody and it's brutal, but this is so contrary to what my expectations were that I can't really compute it.
Right.
It's like my expectations are still trying to hang on.
Yeah.
It's like, no, don't, I can't, not yet. I'm like, no expectations, you gotta fuck off because this is not what I.
This
This
is
is
not
different.
bad different. Yeah, it's good different. It's just
Yeah, oh no, it's amazing different. It's something that matters
right,
different.
right. And that's how I felt too cuz like at first I was like, "Oh, there's not really an X-ray effect," or "Oh, these aren't brutal," but then I'm just like, "But wait a minute. This isn't what I was expecting. This wasn't even necessarily what I was wanting." But at the end of the day, this is better than what I was wanting because this is something I didn't really think of because it's kind of like a night. It's a more simpler version than what we were trying to do, but it works because of its simplicity. That's like
Yeah,
that's in its favor.
the teaser threw me off, I think, more than anything, because the teaser, more than anything else, made me thought it was going to be like a 30-second gore
Yeah,
fest.
it didn't even sound like the teaser didn't even sound like the damn thing we got, which was so weird because the teaser made it sound like somebody's getting their head smashed into a rock for like a minute, and you just hear like way more blood than you think is even possible. It always sounds like a swimming pool to me, like a jacuzzi. It's so weird, but then you don't get that when it actually happens. So either that's just a completely different one, or just it's just so different, like how tricky, like just hearing the noise can be different than like seeing the visuals with it too. But yeah, it's just amazing because I'm totally with you, and I feel like Razor and Justin were the same because we were all just kind of silent as they were explaining because we're just like, what the hell did we just see? And then after you see the first one where you're like kind of confused because you weren't even expecting it to come out, they didn't announce that they're going to do it, and we were still under the impression that like they're either going to say, all right, we're going to show you a Brutality now, and then we'd be expecting anything. But without them saying that, you're like, okay, maybe they'll get to the finish him part and then they'll do something. But to just have it just jump right into that as they're talking, it's like, holy shit, did not see that coming. And then they go from there where you're like, you're just kind of shocked, you're not sure what to think, and you're like, what the hell just happened? They go to, and then they just show you a bunch of examples of like, okay, these look cool now. You're selling me on the visuals, but what is the execution, which is the biggest part on it? And then you add in the fact that it's like classic MK camera, static camera. They're not like over stylized, and that's what the charm is for them. That's why they're different. And then they're just like, you're like, okay, this is cool. And then they tell you that there's over 100, and you're like, holy shit. And then it was just like one. It just kept progressively getting like me more on board as we went until like 10 minutes after they first showed it. That's when I was finally like, I love this. I love this idea. It wasn't an immediate thing, so it was really interesting for sure.
I think that my reaction was just silence at first because I'm like, I don't know what are they doing? Why are they doing? I even like at like 5 minutes after the montage, I'm like, I still don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that teaser was one brutality per letter. Is
Yeah.
what I'm guessing was what they were doing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Those tricky motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're smart. They're
But
smart.
yeah,
No, just making stupid noises.
yeah, no, they're the opposite of being stupid. They're smart, and God, I wish they had like said something on Twitter like that. The fucking trailer is not just one brutal, or no. It's hard to say anything without giving it away.
Yeah, because they didn't really give any hints that I noticed because I mean, for all we know, Punch Walk could be a fucking brutality. You know, that could lead, or it could very well lead into a brutality. It could just be one of Goro's things that like they love the fact of like the way his brutality looks like and what you have to do to pull it off. Like who knows? I don't know. Maybe he just picks you up and just starts walking with you as he's punching you. I have no idea. Like I don't know. It's just now I'm blown away just by what we saw, but then the idea of having all the entire other, the entire roster have all these brutalities too based off their specials, like I'm just super stoked. Like say Shinnok is in the game, like what are his specials going to be? What's his brutalities going to look like? How do you do them? Like I'm just fucking it's just it adds even more. You feel like you're like I was saying, like if they had just one brutality per person, I might have been a little bit disappointed. Like I love the concept and the idea, but then the fact that you would always have to perform the special, that specific special, like I don't know how I feel. I love the options and the variety that it offers on top of it. I feel like that's like it's not just cake, you're getting the icing on top of it too. Like the fact that you're getting so many of them, that's just I was just like I said, it was just like a 1-2 punch where it's just like holy shit.
It's almost like the polar opposite of QuickTime events. Red Letter Media just did a video about immersion in video games. And the reason why I think a lot of people don't like QuickTime events, this is what they said, is because the QuickTime event, you're not really doing anything. You're doing inputs that give you the illusion of doing something.
Right.
With Brutalities, you're the one doing it. You did it. You made it happen. The fatality is not something you cause, it's something you do.
Right.
It's not just, in brutalities, you do the fatality. In real fatalities, you watch the fatality. Those are such worlds apart that I don't think I ever have a reason to do a fatality ever again. Like, I think I'm done. I think I closed the book on fatalities. I don't do them now. I end all my matches with jab, or if I'm using rain, I spray you in the face with water. That's what I do. I don't do fatalities anymore.
Yeah, I like both. I love the option of both, but I'm totally understanding where you're coming from because I think the cool factor is on brutalities just because not only are they challenging, but on top of that, like you said, it's the immersion. You are doing the fatality. You're literally pressing the button and you're seeing it happen in real time, not like a quick time event. You literally have to pull off the move and you have to pull it off on them. You can't just they're not just standing there waiting for you to do it. Like it's gonna get fucking intense. Like I was talking about earlier when we were watching it, like that last throw with like Quan Chi or something. How awesome is that? Is you're getting down to an intense moment, and then you finally catch him with a throw because you throw a bunch of hits, so you're getting him in the habit of blocking, and then you catch him with the throw at the last second to finish him off. You see that the life bar is within range. You catch him with that throw, boom, just fucking like trust fall his ass into that portal, and then he's done. Because that's the cool factor too, is you're used to the normal specials. So if you weren't watching the life bar, or if they weren't, they're gonna see that throw, and then all of a sudden they're gonna expect to fall through that portal, and all they're gonna get is blood coming down. Like that's awesome to me. Like Scorpion, like if you're not paying attention, like Scorpion's just gonna all of a sudden cut off your arms in the middle of a fight. Like that's just awesome to me. Like I love that. The surprise factor, if you're not like, if you're not paying attention to the life bars or just whatever, like the surprise factor of just busting that out at the last second is just perfect.
That might be the only thing that kind of makes me sad about brutalities. If it was a 25% or a 50% damage penalty and the conditions were a little harder, imagine if you're at 50% damage and you think you're just getting thrown and the match is over.
Yeah.
How great and how salt-inducing would that be? It would be brilliant.
Yeah.
But you'd have to make them harder to do, though. Like, there would have to be more conditions.
Right,
They'd
right.
have to... And I still wish I knew a little bit more about that, because these are either going to be so easy that the reward's not going to be there, or they might be so difficult that you'll never see them in high level play. So I hope they find that happy medium.
Oh yeah, I think they're going to be the happy medium because they started off by saying we didn't want to do the old style brutalities because we wanted them to be more accessible. So I think that's still a thing. They still got to make them accessible enough that it's possible. I think it's going to be somewhere like Babality, but I don't think it's going to be like a block thing. I think it's going to be something a little bit more simpler that you still have to strive for to a degree, like let me just thinking like you have to have like 2 bars at the end or something like that of like meter. You can involve meter, you can involve stamina, you can involve like doing a specific attack to end the first round. You can do like with like Cassie Cage, she has like a salute. You could like perform one salute during the round and then you can do it. Like I don't know, there's just like there's a lot of different ways you can go about doing something like that. Like don't use your X-ray the entire like that's the thing is they're going to all be different for the different specials for the different characters. So I think there's going to be a huge variety of challenge ones that are more challenging than others, so to speak.
I hope they're all multi circumstances, though. I would hate the whole if you don't use your X ray, you get to do a brutality. I feel like that would be like, well, that's easy. I'd want it to be a little harder than that.
Yeah. But you still have to land that last attack, though. That's the thing too. It's not
That's
as
true.
it's not as simple as like a Babality where you're like, okay, if I get through the round somehow without blocking, then it's free game. I can sit there and take like 10 seconds to put in the input real quick. It's literally you have to do the requirement and you have to catch him successfully with that move without blocking at the end when their life bar is just at that last. So there's those factors alone still add a challenge because if it's a close match, especially because they were demonstrating those, so obviously it wasn't as close. But if it comes down to where both of you are within brutality range, that's when it's going to be fucking fun because both of you are going to try and hit your brutalities. If both of you have met the requirements thus far and you're within range, like health wise, you're both going to be blocking like mofo's in between. But if you block, they might catch you with the throw one, so you've got to always watch out. That's the thing.
Well, like I hope the reverse isn't true. I hope it's not. You have to do an X-ray if you want to do this brutality. I'd be like, no, don't make me give him 3 bars of meter for a fucking finisher.
Yeah.
I want my breaker. Because Cyrax had resets in MK9. What if there's fucking like, I don't know, Kano resets? Oh no, Kano's fucking 100% combo again. Fuck me. Yeah, that's. Oh, that Cyrax is at least cool. So I get 100% comboed by him. I'm like, well, that sucks. That shouldn't be in the game. But if I'm getting 100% comboed by Kano, oh man, breaking controllers left and fucking right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a little bit more explanations because they made a point in the stream to be like, don't try and figure out how we're doing these, like what the requirements are, because we changed some things. So because they didn't want us to figure out, because some of them they want you to find your own. I expect some to be like hinted towards in the crypt, which is also exciting because obviously a lot of that's going to be online anyways. We'll know like pretty much all the ways to do them really quickly after the game comes out. But the idea of like coming across like a crypt item and then you open it and it's like with, it's like reptile type hints from MK1 where they're like, you're not allowed to jump in the first round or something stupid, so that way in the second round you could go full bore with it for Cassie or something. I don't know, just some shit like that I think would be kind of neat. But yeah, I expect all of them to be exposed sooner than later.
Yeah, well, I feel like it should be like a chart, like a checklist. Like you have to score a throw, in the second half of the life bar. Check. Yeah. You have to do 3 projectiles. Check. You have to score a neutral jump punch. And that's something you can combo into, so that's not a big deal.
Right.
Check. If it's like that, that's perfection.
Yeah, or this one, like, it's even kind of like what we talked about yesterday. There might even be one that's like, you can only do this when you have, like, a 20% damage combo leading into this. Like, that would be kind of a neat one, because you notice at the end, Scorpion did one where he did a full-on combo and finished with that brutality, where he uppercutted him at the very end of all the teleports and shit, and he was up in the air. So you never know. There might be ones that are combo based like that. We really don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And Scorpius is probably my favorite right now. I mean, Raiden's might be a close second, but I really like the Shoryuken. But Raiden's was... See, man, they're all kind of a blur in my mind right now. I'm going to have to rewatch them, all of them.
Yeah, I've watched it a couple times, and there's definitely some good ones in there that stick out amongst the rest.
Okay, I gotta make a decision in a little while about what I'm gonna do. Am I fucking gonna stay up till 8 o'clock?
All right, well let's stop this recording so I can start working on this. But yeah, we'll figure out.
For sure.
But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed Temp's initial reactions to the brutalities and figuring out what they are and us discussing them a bit more. Now that I've had some time to think about them, it was nice to be able to probe a little bit of potential ideas and whatnot. But yeah, hopefully you guys dug it, and we'll catch you next time.
Take care, guys.